You are watching Codexum. Signal archive. The fragments remain. In the deep glow of a fading sunset, a lone ship drifts across an empty sea. Its sails hang motionless. Its engines are silent. No voices, no footsteps, no trace of life, only the creak of old timber moving with the tides. This is how the Ardenfall was found. A vessel built for 30 crew members, yet returning home completely alone. Tonight, we revisit one of the strangest maritime mysteries on record. A ship that ventured into the Bermuda Triangle, vanished without warning, and reappeared days later, perfectly intact. But with every person on board gone, no signs of struggle, no distress signals, no logs explaining what happened, only a vessel drifting silently, as if surrendered by the ocean itself. The year was 1954. Commercial shipping was expanding across the Atlantic, and the Ardenfall, a mid-sized cargo vessel, was known for its reliability. Its captain, Elias Moreland, was respected, methodical and cautious, a man who avoided superstition. Even when sailors whispered about the odd storms and vanishing aircraft lines marking the region, now known as the Bermuda Triangle. But Captain Moreland believed in weather charts, not legends. On a calm April morning, the Ardenfall departed from Charleston, carrying textiles and mechanical parts bound for San Juan. Weather reports predicted an uneventful voyage. The sea was calm, winds gentle. The ship sailed confidently across open waters. But 48 hours later, radio contact faltered. The final message was brief. Visibility declining, strange light on the horizon. Adjusting course. After that, nothing. For 3 days, not a single radar station detected the vessel. Aircraft searched the area. Merchant ships passing through scanned the waves. There were no debris fields, no oil slicks, no emergency flares. It was as if the Ardenfall had dissolved into the air. Even the shipping company prepared for the worst. But then, on the morning of April 18th, a fishing boat spotted a silhouette drifting miles off its intended route. The hull was unmistakable, the name painted across the bow, Ardenfall. But it was moving strangely, shifting slowly in irregular circles, like a compass needle searching for direction. When the fishermen approached, they called out, "Is anyone aboard?" Only the wind replied. They climbed the ladder, and what they found still troubles investigators today. The decks were clean, equipment neatly arranged, untouched, ropes secured, life vests still in place. No signs of panic, damage, or weather distress. Coffee sat half-finished in metal mugs. Chairs were pulled away from tables. A logbook lay open, but the last written entry stopped 12 hours before disappearance, as though the crew simply stood up mid-sentence and never returned. Inside the ship, silence felt heavier. Doors creaked softly as they shifted with the waves. Lights flickered weakly from emergency power. Personal cabins were undisturbed beds made, belongings folded with care. Every room reflected a moment frozen in time, except one, the navigation chamber. Maps were scattered across the table, not in disarray, but rearranged, forming a circular pattern centered on the Bermuda Triangle's coordinates. The ship's compass had spun itself into a locked position, needle pointing not north, but slightly southwest, toward an area sailors rarely traveled. And on the central map, a single pencil line curled into a spiral, ending abruptly at a point with no recorded significance. Captain Moreland's handwriting circled the location with a single word: luminescence. Suspicious environmental clues. Weather instruments showed readings that made no sense. Temperature drops within minutes, sudden pressure dips, anomalous magnetic spikes, enough to disrupt compasses entirely. And yet, no storm damage, no cracked hull, no burnt wires, only a subtle, shimmering residue on the railings, a crystalline film that dissolved upon touch, almost like salt exposed to high heat. No lab ever identified it. Investigators concluded the crew would not abandon ship voluntarily. All lifeboats were still secured. The radio was functional. The ship remained seaworthy. So what could make 30 experienced sailors vanish? 3 theories arose. 1. A sudden, undetectable rogue wave, but that would have left damage. Point 2. A rapid magnetic disturbance possible, yet doesn't explain the missing people. 3. A visual phenomenon or light anomaly. This matched the captain's final note. Strange light on the horizon, yet there were no storms recorded, no meteorological explanations, no military tests in the area at the time. The ocean had offered the ship back, but not its crew. Experts later examined the logbook carefully under angled light. Hidden indentations revealed a partially erased note. The sea doesn't look normal tonight. The water is glowing. Men uneasy. A glow on the water. The same phenomenon some fishermen in the triangle still report. Pulses of light beneath the surface, appearing briefly before fading like breath on a mirror. The Ardenfall was eventually towed back to port. Authorities searched for months. No bodies were ever found. No signals, no flares, no radio calls. In the end, the case was filed not as a tragedy, but as an unresolved maritime anomaly. The ship was repaired, sold, and renamed. It served another decade, but sailors claimed they heard footsteps in empty corridors and faint whispers during night crossings. Few ever volunteered to sleep alone on board. The Bermuda Triangle has earned its place in maritime folklore, a region not defined by danger, but by the unknown forces that seem to linger above and below its waters. Some believe the Ardenfall encountered a magnetic vortex, others say a rare natural phenomenon, and a few whisper of lights that call from beneath the waves. We may never know what happened to its crew, but the ship remains a quiet reminder that even in our age of satellites, radars, and global tracking, there are still places where the world seems to bend just slightly, just long enough to take something with it, and sometimes it returns what it borrowed, but not everything. As we drift away from the story, imagine the Ardenfall again. A vessel gliding silently across an open sea, its decks empty, its wheel unmanned, its purpose unknown. A ship without a crew, moving steadily through waters that refuse to explain themselves. Some mysteries remain not because we lack answers, but because the ocean does not feel obliged to give them. Fade out. This is Codexum, where anomalies are documented, not explained.